All right. Oops. Before we get started, I got to hand out graph paper. So now that I finally handed out graph paper, so that we can graph stuff today, because that's the first word in the title of today's section, graphs. Now we can get going. So, looking ahead, this is what I am tentatively planning. No formative assessment tomorrow. Okay? Because to be perfectly honest with you, I don't even know what's happening tomorrow. Okay? Honestly, I don't. I know that at 1 o'clock we go to the field house. That's all I know about tomorrow. I know that there's an extended homeroom, but I don't know what we're doing in extended homeroom. I know we're career cruising, but I don't know what part of career cruising we're cruising down the road of. I don't know if they're chopping those mods off, that we're going to stay until like 8:40, and then we're going to go to right to mod 2. I don't know. I don't know if we got shortened mods tomorrow, if we're following Schedule A, or if we're following Schedule B, or if we're following some made-up one. I don't know. Okay? So, that's why I said no formative tomorrow.
No school tomorrow.
Okay? Well, it would be nice. But, that's true.
Not really. Just say it.
So, that's tomorrow. Monday, we're going to do day 2 of this. Okay? Plus, on Monday, we're going to take formative. Okay? Tuesday, we're going to do 2.8. Wednesday, we're going to review. Now, the downfall with reviewing this one is probably not going to be able to do a Kahoot. Okay? Because we got graphs. So, I haven't figured out how to put a Kahoot graph on a graph on a Kahoot. You know. Okay? Thursday of next week, 1 week from today, Chapter 2 test. Okay? So a week from today is Chapter 2 test. By the way, have you guys even thought of this? Sunday? It's October. Yeah. Already.
That's why
Thursday the 5th. Yeah. Yeah. Volley for the Cure Day, we're going to take a test. Okay? By the way, next week, Thursday, week from today, Volley for the Cure at the field house. We're paying.
you're already here.
No, parents' night for swimming.
Is
We have a meeting.
5th?
Yeah. So I'm not going to get there.
Tell Schulte to change it.
Yeah.
Just change the whole schedule. Come on now. There it goes. All right, so we're going to talk absolute value equations today. Okay? So an absolute value equation looks like that. That's the standard form of an absolute value equation. Now, in 2 slides, maybe 3, I don't remember, we're going to dive head first into that pool of A times the absolute value of the quantity x minus h plus k, and figure out what all that stuff means. Okay? But for right now, that's what we're dealing with. So, much like you have parents, okay, functions have parents. Do you know what we call them? Parent functions. Okay? Okay? So, here's what the parent function of an absolute value looks like. Okay? It's a V. Okay? V for value. Okay? It's a V for value. So absolute functions either look like V's or mountaintops. Okay? So they look like V's or they look like mountaintops. They are symmetrical. They have linear sides. And that meeting point, okay, we call the vertex. And I say vertex with the parentheses because truly it's not called the vertex. Okay? There is a special name for it. I forget what it is because it's like 18 letters long and it's got like 2 vowels. Okay? So I call it the vertex. Okay? With me? Okay. Yes, ma'am. I said I was going shoeless today. See, here's the problem with me and flip-flops. Okay? So, like right now, no flip-flops, no sandals. I'm like a ninja. Okay? You can't hear me. All of a sudden, bam, I'm there. Okay? With flip-flops, because they're flip-flops. You gotta flop up.
Yeah, you can easily not flop.
Plus when I'm standing here, then I do this. Now let's see if I can do it. I like the. What's wrong? Yeah, because they're cool sandals. So now they're gonna flop over there.
That's fine.
Okay. There. All right. So there's two different ways to graph absolute values. Okay. One way is a little longer. Okay. One way is a little more complicated. Okay. So this way is the long way. T-charts. Okay. So if I am going to graph using a T-chart, what I need to do then is I need to pick 5 random x values. I don't care what they are, as long as they're random. Okay. What I'm going to do then with those x values is I'm going to plug them into the equation and find their corresponding y values. Okay. So I pick 5, plug them in, get the corresponding y's. So now I've got 5 points. Okay. So I'm going to plot those 5 points. Then I'm going to look at my 5 points on my graph, and I'm going to say, self, I can see the V, or I can't see the V, which means I need to see the vertex. Right? I need to see that either that valley point of the V or that peak point of the mountaintop. Okay? So, inspect your graph. Can you see the vertex? If you can, draw on your sides. If you can't, then you got to find more points. You got to repeat that step number 1 and pick some more points until you find that. Okay? So, it's kind of a guess. Because, I'm going to back up a slide here and I want to show you something. Because if I pick, so like if I pick this point right here, and this point right here, and this point right here, and this point right here, so there's my 5 points that I pick, right? But technically I wouldn't see that V part yet. And then if I keep going this way, I'm never going to see that V. Because they're always going to be, you know what I mean? So I got to pick some on both sides then afterwards, and it just gets, it's mass hysteria. It is a way, it works every single time. However, sometimes you could be trying a lot of points until you find that V, or until you see that V on your graph. Okay? But it works. More power to you. A lot of math. Okay? So let's do it. All right. If I were king of the forest from Wizard of Oz. So, first step is I need to pick 5 x values. Give me 5 numbers. Go. 0 I heard. -3 I heard. 4 I heard. 16. Come on, let's be on the graph.
7.
-2 and 7 I heard. Okay? Alright? So now, to plug those values into our function. Okay? So if I put 0 into that function, 0 minus 2, absolute value, plus 3, 5. So that is the point 0, comma 5, and 5. Then, if I put in negative 3, negative 3 minus 2, negative 5, absolute value, 5 plus 3, 8. If I put in 4, 2, 5, agree with 5. 4 minus 2 is 2, absolute value is 2, plus 3 is 5. Oops, that should have been a different color. That's a horse of a different color. Also, Wizard of Oz. Do we have a V yet? Kinda, right? Okay, so we kinda have one. All right, negative 2. Seven. Seven. Seven is 7. 7 is 8. 7 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 2. Okay. If I do 2, I get 3. Is that our V point? Yeah. Okay. Because if we think about it, if you kind of connect these dots over here on this side, okay, we're going down here. Yeah, and we would keep going down. But then if we connect these, they would meet right there. So, yep, so that would be our V point. Okay, so now we connect that with the... Whoa, we got to make that bigger. Two rays. Okay. Yeah, buddy? Okay. That's the long way. Because again, we had to try 6 points to get there. Okay. So, let's talk now. Let's go back abstract-ish. And let's talk about the absolute value graph using the formula. Okay? So all of this information comes out of that formula. Okay? So let's start on the left. A. The A value is going to give us the width of our V. If A is bigger than 1, it's going to be narrow. It's going to be a skinny V. If A is between negative 1 and positive 1, it's going to be wide. The positivity of A also tells us if it's a V or if it's a is positive, it's going to open up, so that's going to be the V. If A is negative, that's going to be the mountaintop, and it's going to open down. K, this number outside of the absolute value, is going to shift our graph, or shift the vertex of our graph vertically. If K is positive, we're going to shift it up. If K is negative, we are going to shift it down. H, well, H is that confusing one. Because in math, anytime that we are inside of something, parentheses, absolute values, radicals, all that stuff, we think oppositely. Okay? So if we see H minus K, excuse me, if we see X minus H, that is a right shift. Even though you see negative H, I've got to think oppositely and shift it to the positive direction. If I see X plus H inside the absolute value, that then becomes a left shift. Now, the nice thing about this formula is we can go directly to the vertex. The vertex is at the point H, K. The other good point about this form is that when it's written, your A value is the slope of the right half of your absolute value graph. So H, K is your vertex. A is the slope of the right half of your V or mountaintop. The opposite of A is the slope of your left half. So you don't have to do any math. You just got to pluck the information out of the graph. Okay? So let's put this to work once you guys get it done. Up. Okay. Here we go. Maybe. There, now we go. Okay. So, using the formula now, we still have 3 steps. My first step is I'm going to plot the vertex, H, K. Remember that I think oppositely about H. Okay. Second step is I'm going to use A. A here is the number out in front. To either plot more points or draw in the right side. Then I'm going to use the opposite of A to be the left side slope, and I'm going to connect both sides with 2 rays. Ready? here we go. Same one. Okay? I think it's the same one as before. Okay? Yep. Okay? Same one, but now I'm doing it. So, first thing that I need to plot is I need to plot my vertex. My vertex is, I think, oppositely about h. So I see -2, but I think +2. I see k, and I think +3. So the vertex, the meeting point, is at the point 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. There it is. Okay. My A value is this number out in front right there. There isn't anything written, so that means it's 1. So my A value is 1, which means the right side has a slope of +1. So that's up 1, right 1, 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 up 1, right 1. My left side would have a slope of -1. Up 1, left 1, 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 up 1, left 1. And now I can draw it in. A little faster, a little more complicated. You got to know some more things, but it's a little faster. Okay? So let's graph this one using any method. You pick it. Which method do you want to use? Long or complicated? You want to use the t-chart or the equation? Equation? Okay? You're probably going to end up going with the equation 9 times out of 10. Okay? So, that means then that my vertex is where? Do we agree with -6, 7? H is always we think oppositely with just H because it's inside something. Okay? So do we agree with -6, 7? I would concur with that. So let's plot that point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What is my A value? It is -1/4, which means the right side of my V, or my mountaintop, is going to have a slope of -1/4. So I'm going to go down 1 and right 4. 4. Down 1, right 4. Down 1, right 4. Down 1, right 4. That also means then that my left slope is going to be what? positive 1/4, which means I'm going to go down 1 and left 4. Connect them. Okay. Questions? Oops, didn't want to do that. Splitting, joining, whatever that is. I will get you a graph paper here momentarily. I want you to make a mental note. Okay? Just wait. Don't take the picture yet. Tap the brakes, child. That this is due on Tuesday. Snap away, abs. Okay? I will tell you this. You do not know how to do 100% of your homework yet. Okay? You can do the graphs, okay? But there's a couple of problems on there that you don't know how to do yet that I intentionally was going to teach you on Monday. You get part of it done right now, but that's why it's not due until Tuesday, because I haven't taught you everything yet. Okay?